I am absolutely thrilled to welcome today's guest, Nikita Richburg.
A lot of people would say, you don't look like what you've experienced, or how did you make it through that, or how are you still here today? 5 empty shells found in my home, yet I'm still standing and I'm still breathing. And it was that moment that I really feel like I decided it was time to do something completely different.
So, welcome to the Inspire Life 365 podcast, where we go deep into the art of manifestation, abundant living, and living a balanced life filled with purpose and passion. I'm your host, Natalie, founder of Inspire Life 365. And today we have an incredible guest who's here to share her journey, insights, and inspiration with you all. Sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So, I am absolutely thrilled to welcome today's guest, Nikita Richburg. She is absolutely amazing. Nikita Richburg, Coach Enrich, is a certified empowerment and professional life coach specializing in helping women choose their own healing in order to break generational cycles. She also helps you promote a positive, healthy lifestyle change and foster a positive mindset. Nikita has a bachelor's of science and master's of arts in health education and promotions, a concentration in community health, focusing on sexual health education and awareness. She also has an extensive background of 14 years in corporate America and the experience of starting a bankruptcy department from the ground up. Nikita provides coaching and information to others by helping to enrich and empower their lives, namely with personal growth and healing alongside health and wellness practices. So shout out to Nikita. She has done a lot. As you can see, she is a wealth of knowledge. Her story is nothing short of inspiring. So let's not wait any longer and welcome Nikita. How are you today?
Good. Thank you. And thank you for the warm welcome. I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So, of course, let's start with something light because I know a little bit about your story and I don't want to spoil it for anyone because it is so inspiring. And I believe that someone listening will possibly have a transformational shift in their life. So let's start with something light. What is something fun or exciting that's happened in your life recently that brought you joy?
Ooh, something fun and exciting. I got invited to an event. At first, I wasn't going to go. I got invited to speak, and I was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. Shooting myself down, thinking I had enough on my plate and that maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't have been able to add this on. Just, not extending myself too far, but being realistic with myself. However, I pretty much came full circle because what I noticed was I wanted to go to the event just to attend it. And I said, okay, even if I don't speak, I'll go. I look on the flyer and one of my friends is actually speaking. And I immediately text her and I'm like, hey, oh my gosh, I got invited to come speak, but I turned it down because I didn't want to overextend myself. I don't know that I'm prepared. It's kind of short notice. And she's like, girl, please don't speak. I want to introduce you. And I'm like, huh?
Mm.
And she's like, please speak. I want to introduce you. You go ahead and you reach back out to her. We gonna do this. And I'm like, okay. And so I felt like all signs pointed to the direction of where I was going anyway. And I felt like I came up in a circle and I ended up speaking. And I felt like it was in direct alignment with what I've been doing and walking in my purpose. And it brought me so much joy. It made me feel like I knew I was supposed to be here. When I came in, I felt a welcoming energy. And then even when she introduced me and I spoke, the first thing I had everyone say after I hugged her and told her thank you was, can I get everybody to say alignment? And that's how I began speaking. And
Yes.
it made me feel so full and it made me happy. It brought me joy, fulfillment. It was a great feeling. I enjoyed it.
I love that so much because I think as coaches, we love being in alignment with who we are. So that's an amazing story to me of just how the universe shows up for you and supports you in the way or provides you with the answers that you need, even when you're on the fence.
Yep.
And then it's nope, very much so confirmation and validation. And that is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So that's amazing.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
I love hearing stories like that. They really set the tone for the kind of positive, high vibrating energy
Mhm,
that
mhm.
we want to bring to this show. Because again, whether we realize it or not, I tell people this all the time, we are always manifesting,
Yes.
whether we realize it or not. So you can decide to manifest good stuff or you can manifest
Mhm,
some other stuff.
mhm.
So that was an amazingly good thing that happened. So let's go a little bit deeper in your journey. So I know that everyone's story, everyone's journey has its moments. It
Mhm.
has pivotal moments. And I'm always curious as how we as people we get to where we are today, because how we look today
Mhm.
or on paper, how people see us, they're like, she's never gone through anything or nothing's ever happened to her. So can you share with us a moment in your life that really shaped who you are today?
Yes, and you're absolutely correct. A lot of people would say, "You don't look like what you've experienced," or "How did you make it through that?" or "How are you still here today?" And I say that first to say this: I am a domestic violence survivor, and I sometimes share my story with individuals to where they fully understand what I've experienced as far as what took place and how it played out. And then in other moments, I choose to kind of hone it in and protect it a little bit more because I don't want it to stem something within somebody else because I don't know what anybody's experiencing at any moment. But to share my story is to speak my truth. So
Yes.
being a domestic violence from experiencing it 12 years ago, I'm able to stand here today and say, you know what? I have a greater purpose. The reason I know I have a greater purpose is because by anybody else's standards, I probably shouldn't have been here when there were weapons used and there were 5 empty shells found in my home, yet I'm still standing and I'm still breathing. I'm still able to speak. And it was that moment that I really feel like I decided it was time to do something completely different. Not because I asked for it, but because I knew, you know what? I'm still here on this earth for a reason. And now it's time to identify and do something better. I'm not going to say it was a straight line. I think I took some steps forward, a couple steps back, went in a circle a few times, but still
Mhm.
found my way. So knowing that, even 11 years later, I'm able to look back on that and say, you know what? That was a defining moment in my life. That is a part of who I am. Not that I hold on to the pain or anything that I experienced in the past. Today, I work through that. And based on being able to work through that and identify my own trends, my own things that I've done in my life, even the cycle of potentially dating the same people in different bodies, I
Yeah.
had to figure out why. Why am I attracting the same person, the same
Girl,
energy?
we've all been, I feel like most of us have all been there. What I say, same person, different name.
that
Uh-huh.
that whole that energy. It's like,
Yes.
but then you're consciously saying, I'm not gonna do that again. I don't want to attract that person again. That's not
Right.
I got a different type now. Okay, but they still have the same energy and you're still attracted to it until you change
Yes.
who you are. So
Mhm.
that was a pivotal moment for me. Like, we got to do something a little different because we're not going to experience this ever again. This is not anything to be tolerated. And it started there. And it took me, I'm going to say, for me to really, really, really open up and do the work, it took me 3 years after that event
Okay.
to actually realize you didn't ask for it. This is not anything you need to carry on your back. Now you have to really fully heal, engage in yourself, and really figure it out. And that's where I started. I started there and I
Yeah.
took strides forward and took a little bit of a slip, a slide, but got back up. And
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like me being able to work on me and actually release that because I know a lot of women will hold on to that and be
Mhm.
angry and not. I didn't show up as someone who is being angry, being mad, carrying that pain, choosing to do it to somebody else, or treat the next person I date as if they are that person. Now,
Yeah.
I was always open to receive, but I still felt like I was dating that same energy over and over. And when I finally did the work on me, I freed that. I had to remove that, and I had to open myself up to fully receive what I desired, deserved, and was truly worthy of beyond that moment. And now I work to help others release and discover how they can come up out of anything that they've experienced in the past that's holding them back in order to reach their goals and anything that they desire to manifest in a healthy way.
That is, it's remarkably powerful. Just several things that you said. Obviously, the story itself is powerful, you being here. But one of the things that I love that you mentioned was it took you 3 years to start
Mhm.
working on that. And I think that's profound because so many times we think we have to do, it has to happen overnight, you know? Like, we just wake up like this, and sometimes we just have to have a seat.
Mhm,
We just have a
mhm,
seat
mhm,
and give
mhm,
ourselves the grace, or work through even the understanding of what has truly happened, full
mhm,
circle, so that we then have the self awareness to be like, you know what, I'm ready to do something different. Or I realize I'm attracting the same person over and over. So what's going on internally
mhm.
with
And
what's going
own
on
it.
internally with me? So I thought that was so powerful, you saying that. And I know that a lot of our listeners are going to resonate with that story, just whether it's from a domestic violence standpoint or any type of trauma. I
Mhm,
believe they say that most people have experienced some level of trauma. Someone else's trauma may not be domestic violence,
mhm,
but it could be something else. But the process, for the most part, is very similar, the same, that
mhm.
internal work. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree. And I try to make mention of this as well. So, the way our brain works, the wavelengths that we signal out, and the things that we think about, and how we respond and react to things. If you
Hmm.
are a domestic violence survivor, or you've experienced any kind of verbal or mental abuse, your brain sends out the same wavelengths.
Yes, it
And a lot of
does.
people don't understand. They don't understand it. They're like, well, I didn't get hit, or I didn't experience it this way. I don't understand. Well, you're hurt. It
Mhm.
still sends out the same signals, and it still deserves the same nurturing love and care for self, so you can be healthy. And I really want other people to understand that. Like, really pay attention to when you experience something in any type of relationship. It could be romantic, it could be family or friend, and just pay attention to what you feel in that moment, and pay attention to how you see yourself moving next.
You touching on something now. You talking about these emotions. You talking about these emotions, and vibrating low,
Uh-huh.
which I would say we both know that you have your top six low vibrating emotions: and
Mhm,
sadness, anger,
mhm,
guilt,
mhm,
shame.
mhm,
Those
mhm,
are all on that low vibration frequency. And I think a lot of times people don't understand that with that vibration with your brain and what you attract, you will more likely attract
mhm,
that which you are vibrating at. So
mhm.
if you are angry, you can
And you
really only attract angry. It's hard for you to attract happiness and joy.
mhm, mhm,
You ain't
mhm.
gonna get it.
What about the people that don't know though?
Yeah, right.
Well,
That's right.
there are so many people who don't know that they're angry. Now, they might know that they're hurt. They might know that
Yeah.
something hurt them, but showing up in the real world, you get so many people that say, "This is just who I am." I know I'm dealing with this. And I'm like, okay, so let's talk about it. I have these conversations
Yes.
with friends, with clients, family, everybody, just in
Mhm.
general. Like, it's in passing. Like,
Yes.
it can just be open conversation. I'm like, okay, hold on. Let's talk about
Right. Because you don't have to stay like this.
it.
You don't have to be like this.
Yeah. And we talk about it. And then by the
Yeah.
end of the conversation, they're like, thank you for being so positive. Thank you for saying that to me. Don't stop doing this. Just keep doing this. And I'm like, thank you. All I'm doing is speaking life into people. I just want people
Absolutely.
to fully understand, whatever you desire, whatever you think, whatever you want, whether it be good or bad, you call it to you. So pay attention, keep those vibrations up, bring in that positive energy, focus on you, what you want, your self-love, because your
Mhm.
self-love comes from here and it goes out. And then when
That's
you're open
exactly
to
right.
receive, it's gonna come to you. But you got to release the other stuff to
Yep.
really see it. So I will tell you what kept me moving forward. It was my desire to have a healthy, functioning relationship. So
Mm.
outside of that relationship, I knew for a fact this was never anything that I wanted. I don't want to experience it again. So here it is, right? You thinking, okay, so she's saying she doesn't want this, not knowing how manifestation worked way back when. So I'm
Right.
saying, I don't want blah blah blah. But my mind, you say you don't want a blue elephant, you're gonna see a blue elephant. Like, you're gonna see it. You might experience it again, but it might not be to the same extent. So when moving forward and saying, okay, I gotta do something different. I want healthy, I want healthy, I want healthy. But then in the same moment, saying, I don't want to do this again, what am I running into? I might be running into roadblocks. I might be running into challenges. I might be running into the people that are sending those signals up to me. And I'm like, whoa, how did I get here? Let me get out. You know, but then not giving up. I never gave up on me. I never gave up on healthy. And that includes my whole body, my mental,
Mm.
my weight, my ability to show up for myself and other people. But at one point, I do feel like I was showing up in a way where I was performing to receive love. So
Mm,
me and my desire for love, but the healthy kind, kept me moving forward. However, there was still that performing Nikita, the Nikita that would show up and say, okay, if I cook, if I do this, if I go the extra mile, this person's going to love me and they're going to keep me around. And that is not the case. So
mm,
instead of me receiving the physical aspect, I'm still receiving a mental aspect and not really recognize what it is, but it's still showing up in the same energy. But my desire for healthy love has still kept me pushing forward. So anytime I would experience anything even remotely close, I'd be like, okay, I holla, I gotta go. You know, that whole thing. But that was
right.
also me saying, at least you observed it, giving yourself a pat on the back and saying,
Mm,
okay, that might have been one step back, but we about to take it the next step further. And that kept me going, wanting to be healthy for myself, wanting to show up for myself, for my future, and having a healthy love just overall.
oh
It's
yeah.
what
Hmm.
still keeps me going forward. That's something that I work on myself. My self love is amplified, but what I want in relation to everyone else in my circle or in my immediate family in around me, I want a healthy love. That's what
Mm,
keeps me going.
I love that. It's such an important reminder, just love in general, because it's like at the foundation of everything.
Mhm.
And it starts with you. That's that
Mhm.
self-love. It starts with you and how you show up. So it's often those challenging moments that really help us grow the most.
Yes.
It sucks in a way until you're like going through it
Mhm.
and you're
For
like, I
sure.
need it. Maybe I didn't need it quite like that, Lord. But
Right.
you
Right.
know, maybe, but maybe had I listened and done things differently
Mhm.
sooner, I wouldn't
Mhm.
have to have gotten the lesson this way. But here I am. And now that I have it, it's so profound because it's life changing. So,
Mhm.
speaking of like the challenges, what's one of the biggest challenges you faced and how did you navigate through it?
One of the biggest challenges I faced, I'm gonna say starting over. And when I
Mm,
say, why do I say it's a big challenge? Because coming right out of that situation, I knew I wanted a fresh start, right? Didn't know what the fresh start would be, didn't know what it would look like. But when the company that I work for asked me to relocate, I was like, oh, perfect. Let me go 17 miles away from home.
mhm.
Right. Yet I'm still carrying this whole thing with me. Now I'm away from family. Now I'm out here by myself, me and my little dog, and I'm out here trying to figure it out while carrying the unhealed parts of me
Yes.
back. So I'm
Mhm.
saying, I'm showing up saying my wings work. I'm able to be successful, but I'm not thriving because I'm not happy wholeheartedly. Yes, I'm showing up for work. Yes, I'm showing up for the things that I'm able to accomplish, but I'm not showing up for me. The
Mm.
biggest challenge was being able to say, yes, I quote unquote got a fresh start. I relocated. I have the ability to start over. But what about starting over with me?
Internally, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah, because
yes.
you just physically moved, right?
Mhm,
Everything just physically shift, and that's like part of that thing of we think that if we just do more or do the word do
mhm.
outside of ourselves, then that's going to magically make things
It does.
better or perfect. But what you're saying right now is that, hey, yeah, I moved and
Mm.
I still had all the stuff
Right.
because
Right.
you
Right.
had internally, done that in that internal work that has to be done where you make a shift. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
there's moving and then there's a shift,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they are two different things. You
Right.
know.
Right.
Hmm.
But it's being aware too. I don't
Yes.
necessarily feel that I was as self-aware as I am today. I think my thought was get me as far away from where it happened and I'll be okay, as opposed to Nikita, sit down somewhere. Work on this healing. Heal,
Yeah.
heal this brain and heal this heart. Heal both of them
Mhm.
together and you're gonna be fine. Instead, I wanted to get far away from it, but it was still moving with me.
So let me ask you, what at what moment, because that is such a true statement, especially when you're not as aware or if you're new to this type of work, or this type of arena. we're certified coaches, so we know the
Mhm.
process, but we also had to get here to this point in
Yes.
our life. Like we weren't always here. So on your journey, when you moved for the fresh start, like what happened along the way that you were like, I'm still not, this is still not where I want to be. This isn't, I'm not operating in the energy.
My dating showed me.
Okay, your dating show.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest with you. Back a few years ago, I was the type that would say, "Okay, it's not working with you. Let me move around. Do I need to pick up somebody else? Because I can do it." And thinking that it's me releasing.
To the left is
I
that's
mean,
what I heard in my head. To the left.
really, that back then I was like, "Oh, okay, bye. Hey, that is not the way to do it. It doesn't heal anything. It does not mend anything. It does not correct anything. All
You
you
mean to
do,
tell me that the best way to get over somebody is to get under someone? That's not true. Is that
absolutely not. You know, pain on top of pain on top of pain. But I'm moving. It's gonna be over soon. I found somebody else. Pain on top of pain on top of pain. But who was hurting who? I was hurting myself.
yeah.
They. I'm not gonna say that those people were hurting me. We were picking each other, and the energy was showing up the same.
Hmm.
It was time for me to change.
Yeah.
But it was
Hmm.
me recognizing I don't want to move like this. This is not getting any better. This is not healthy. It's not
Yeah.
healthy love. No.
Hmm. So let me ask you, because we have different people that are going to be listening to this, and I really, with my clients and my students, I really like for people to walk away with some practical steps that
Okay.
they can take. And so I love that you mentioned that it showed up for you in your dating.
Mhm.
So you must take it back. This was a while back. This was before you, the complete self-aware, coach enrich, amazing
Yeah.
mindset, generational curse breaker
Yeah.
that exists today. And but you took that step back. So what would you say to someone, like three things maybe for them to check around themselves to that identifies like, hey, I'm not operating in alignment, or this isn't.
The first thing that I would say to someone, if they had to take some steps forward, and maybe their brain is clouded, they don't even know that they're experiencing something. The first thing I would say is to first step back from the situation and take a moment and sit in silence, whether it be for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, or pay attention to yourself. Step away from the outside noise, cancel the outside noise, and listen to self. That would be the first step that I would take. The step two, after you step back and you cancel the noise, pay attention to what makes you happy.
Mhm,
What does it look like to pour back into yourself instead of showing up for everybody else, instead of having everybody around you, all the fun, all the people, the family, everybody around you? What does it look like when you're in silence and you're paying attention to yourself to pour back in and love on you?
mhm,
And the third step I would say would be to, once you identify what it looks like to pour into yourself, don't lose it. Hold on to that, because now you know what it looks like for you to feel fulfilled by what you've done for yourself, and it does not require anybody else. So,
mhm,
one, sit in silence. Step two, pour into yourself. And step three, don't never lose it.
mhm. I love that so much. So you all heard it. Those, those are three practical steps that you can take right now. So if you're feeling some type of way out there, or something just seems off, or you know that you're not operating in the energy of who you truly are. Is that right? Am I saying that right? I want to say, I know it's not is, who you truly is, but who you are, who you are, take those three steps, because that's going to lead you, towards the right path and
Mhm.
keep you going. All right. So I appreciate your vulnerability so much in sharing your story and the challenges as well. I want to talk about some wins.
Okay. Okay.
So, what's a recent win in your life that you're really proud of?
I would have to say officially launching my. I started out making content because I was documenting my healing journey, and I started last year outside of doing some things for myself and pouring into myself. I spent some time alone, and then I was like, okay, well, you know what, we're going to document this, we're going to track this, somebody might need to hear it. And all of a sudden my following goes up. I gained over 4,000 followers in a year's time. And I'm
Wow.
like, wow, somebody's paying attention, somebody's listening. I'm starting to get DMs, I'm starting to get people reaching out to me, I'm starting to get friends call me, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, there's some help that needs to be done here. Wait a minute. So then when I started paying attention to that, I was like, well, I'm gonna go make sure I get these certifications. I know what my title needs to be, I know what I want to do. Let me go ahead and get my certifications. But when I launched my business, that it felt so good to my soul because it's like it's officially documented. Even though I have certifications, I have them. I hang it. I can hang them up. I have them in a folder, nice and neat.
Yes.
And the thing about that was, I'm like, now I can say it to the world. Not just the people that are reaching out to me. Anybody, I can say it to the world. It's official, and I did it. I did
Yes.
it, and I'm here to help. And it made me feel so accomplished because it's like different from what normal work to be. And when I say normal work, you know how we clock in and we work. We
Mm-hmm.
but
That in the 5. Mm-hmm.
yes, this
Yes.
is
Mm-hmm.
so natural to my soul, my spirit, helping people and helping them understand you're not alone. No, you're not tripping. Okay, you have a goal you want to accomplish. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out why it hasn't happened yet. And we're going to identify it. Then we're going to nurture and we're going to care for you so that this part of you does not block you or stand in your way any longer. And that it makes me feel so good, just to be honest with you. Like the fact that I launched my business and I'm able to help others. And I mean, anybody is documented. And I'm like, yes, I could do it. That was a
You
win.
did it. You are doing it.
Yes.
You're doing it. You did it. And I just want to plug in there. It makes the job sometimes a little bit easier because you know what
Mhm.
you're setting up. You know what your true calling is,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know where you're headed. And for me, at least, I'm able to make the best out of the situation, whatever situation I'm in,
Mhm.
because I'm usually operating in my gift.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Right. So if I'm at the workplace, I'm usually operating in my gifts. That's what you're doing. You're operating in your gift. My girlfriend, she likes to say tag talent, abilities, gifts, and skills. She said
Oh,
tags.
I like
Uh-huh. Is that not
I
cute?
like it.
Mhm.
I do. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
So,
it.
and that's what you're doing, no matter where you are.
I do. I definitely channel that because a lot of times when I'm working, I know it feels different. I don't I'm working. Like I'm literally like, okay, get the job done, moving around. But then even if you experience a moment at work that might be challenging, I am able to step back and say, that's fine. But
Mm,
this is not how I feel about this. It might
yes.
show up as a challenge, but it doesn't have to ruin your day. You don't even have to look at it as a challenge. You might be like, you know what? And this is what I've learned to do actually. You can call it a challenge, but how do you know it's not a lesson for you to apply to your business?
That part.
So you can't take this right here that you've
Mhm.
committed to and say, I committed to working full time for this and experiencing this and pouring into this, but I learned this today. It might have felt like a challenge, but if I ever experience it over here, I know what to do with it. And that's
That
how
part.
we started to
Yes.
look at it. That
Mhm. Girl, I love that. Nikita, I love that so much. I absolutely love that because it's inevitable that there are going to be experiences. And one of my favorite affirmations is all things work for my good.
yes,
So even if it seems like a challenge, I know it's working for my good. I may not be able to see it right there in that
yes,
moment, but
yes,
I know
yes.
it in my soul that is
Mhm.
working for my good. So that I love that reframe. I hope you all are taking notes because that was a whole coaching moment right there with the
Something else
reframing.
I say, it's along the lines of what you say. Something I say, like when I'm experiencing this, I'm saying it's happening the way it's supposed to. This is
Mhm.
happening right now, how it's supposed to, and I am okay with this. I'm experiencing it. It doesn't define me. What can I learn from it? And that keeps me from feeling any type of way, saying
Mhm.
anything, feeling the need to react to anything because I
Yes.
choose to respond over react any day.
Yeah. I
Mm-mm.
love that. That's that that's that rewiring the brain, over that years of
Mhm.
practicing and setting
Mhm.
up those new neural pathways where it's like, okay, this is how I respond to those situations. Absolutely love that. So, let me ask you, now that we know so much about your journey, you've launched your business, and I don't know if I said it. Congratulations
Thank
again. I wish I
you.
could throw some confetti. So imagine that it is flowing down because if there's one thing I love business.
Yeah.
I love business and I love seeing powerful women start their businesses, launch their business, especially when their goal underneath is to impact other women and empower them. So kudos to you because that's a big deal. So let me ask you, what's next on your journey, like from a vision standpoint?
Well, I'm working on some books. I
Okay.
started. So, I already have a gratitude journal, the My Gratitude Journal. I
Oh,
actually created this tool to help others because this was where I started on my journey. I started to observe gratitude, and I understood very quickly that when you observe gratitude and you hold on to the feeling, and it feels like that feeling you had at Christmas when you were a child, or
mhm.
that good feeling of
Those
ah,
emotions, yeah, yeah, that
so I
ecstasy.
created this, which is it's a guided journal. In the morning, you set your intention. How do you want to experience your day? And what's something nice you're gonna do. And then in the evening, before you go to bed, you document the things that did show up for you in that day. What are the things you're grateful for? How do you want to set your intention for tomorrow? And that's how you begin and end your day. And this is where I started. This is where I started for me. So this is why I created this tool, but now I'm working on another journal and I'm also working on a healing book.
Yay.
So those are things that I have in the works, and I'm excited for those. I can't wait to share those. So I'm taking a little bit more time because I feel like they deserve that. Because for
Mhm.
whoever gets it and uses it, I want them to be able to really, really work on themselves and see the purpose. And
Mm.
anything I do it with purpose. And that's what makes me feel good. But if it helps somebody else, that's that's it. That's what we're doing. We're opening people up to receive what they desire, deserve, and are worthy of, and
Mm.
removing any of those limiting beliefs or blockages that they might not even know that they have.
Absolutely. So the My Gratitude Journal, is that something that people can pick up on Amazon, or would they need to reach out to you directly to get it?
It is on Amazon. It's on Amazon under the My Gratitude Journal, and it's under Nikita Richburg. That's my name. I also have it on my website. It's so there also, which is www.enrichlifecoaching.com, and
Okay.
it's spelled the correct way, ENRICH, lifecoaching.com.
Gmail.com. Love that. So I know, so you have the books, so that's in the works. It sounds like that it's going to be coming to fruition really soon. So what are you most excited about manifesting right now? Because I had to throw in a manifestation question
Oh,
because that's what we do. We manifest all day long. So
so
what you got
right
going on?
now, my manifestations actually include a healthy romantic love because
Hmm.
I've done, and I said it specifically, right? A healthy romantic
See,
love
you
because
got to be specific out here with manifestation because you will get it.
yes, a healthy romantic love because
Yes.
I know I had to pour into myself with the self love, and I had to know what I like and how I show up and how I respond versus react to any situation. And now knowing where I am, I'm like, you know what? It's official. I'm ready to receive and embrace that good energy from someone else. And
Mhm.
that's what I'm working on and manifesting and calling to me right now.
I love that. We will be on the lookout for the new love
Okay.
that is already on its way to
Yes.
you. Nikita, our favorite book that has influenced your mindset.
Fly girl.
Hmm?
I can't
One
remember.
affirmation. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I can't remember the author, but Fly Girl, that was a learning book for me. Okay.
Okay. So, okay. Fly girl. One
Mhm.
affirmation you repeat to yourself daily.
I am beautiful, resourceful, smart, abundant, healthy, wealthy, and loved.
Okay.
Mhm.
Morning routine must have.
Wake up playlist. Dance around the house. Get the energy going. Release. Morning playlist.
We're gonna have to find out what's on her playlist, y'all. So okay. What's your go-to way to raise your vibration?
Ooh, so I here lately I've been lighting my incense and stating intention out loud. Just clearing the energy in my home, like as far as, when you light a candle or incense, you're setting
Mhm.
the intention. You want your house to smell good. But just saying, okay, lighting this incense, I'm protected. I love myself, I'm embracing me. My day is going to be amazing. Just keep it moving.
Love that. One piece of advice you'd give your younger self.
Love you always. Choose you, love you always.
I love that. That's amazing. I love all of those answers so much. It's always it's always fun to hear the quick takes because sometimes if we have too much time to think, it's not really intuitively probably what needed to be out there. So I definitely will be looking at Fly Girl. Is that what it's called?
Check
Fly
it
Girl?
out. I read that in, I think it was high school, but it was a learning moment for me. She was moving too fast.
Mm,
She was moving too fast. And that book actually, like I said, I read it in high school. And for me, it was a moment of slow down,
mm. Look at
embrace
that.
your childhood, slow down. So,
Yeah, I love that. So before we wrap up, I'd love for you to share one powerful thought or piece of advice that you think our listeners need to hear today?
okay. Let's see. This should have been a rapid fire question because I think it would have been good. Okay.
Do I need to just repeat it to you and then you just gotta go?
But it would have been good. Okay. So, one piece of advice that I would give any woman today: trust your intuition,
Mhm.
listen to it, because we each have intuition in our body, and nobody's intuition matches the next person's. Your intuition is like your compass. When you feel it, listen to it. And the reason I said that is because there were plenty of times when I could have prevented myself from experiencing something by listening to my inner knowing of, no, go the other way, don't go that way, tell that person you'll see them later, or just do it a different way. Listen to it. It's your own internal compass.
I love that. And I approve that message. So I'm all about the intuition. I feel like it's your intuition doesn't steer you wrong.
Mm-mm.
Not ever, because that's just that's a higher power. that is a guide.
Mhm.
And so many times we, especially as women, I feel like we downplay it or we overlook it.
Mhm.
And I know there's many out there that'll be like, girl, I wish I had turned right instead of left.
Right.
I
Right. That's
knew
the
it.
whole thing.
I knew it.
No.
Intuitively, I knew it was a red flag, but I thought maybe I could make it green.
Okay, it looks like Six Flags. Let's go ride the roller coaster.
Let's go.
No.
Right. Six red flags. So so I love that you gave the advice of follow your intuition. So, of course, I want to thank you so much, Nikita, for sharing your wisdom, sharing your love, showing up, and just being vulnerable and sharing your experiences and this high vibrating energy tonight. I'm sure everyone listening is going to walk away with so much value and understanding. So, where can people find you? Where can they follow your journey or get involved with what you're doing or reach out to you?
Okay, I am on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube under enrich_enrich, and it's spelled NRICH_ENRICH. I also have my website, which is www.enrichlifecoaching, and the enrich is spelled correctly. And I'm on Facebook under Nikita Richburg or Coach Enrich, and my email, if anybody needs to email me or ask me a question, coach.enrich@gmail.com. And it's spelled coach.nrich@gmail.com.
All right, we'll make sure to include all of that on the screen for you all so you won't get confused between the enrich,
Mhm.
the letter N, and then the enrich starting with the E. Enrichful. Because
Mhm.
that's even a word. It's all enriching. So thank you so much. I encourage everyone listening to go check out Nikita Richburg. You won't regret it. She's amazing. I did want to say that Nikita and I met, for me, she may not realize this, and I don't know if I told her this, but it was a manifestation. The night before Nikita reached out to me, I was talking about networking. I am naturally more introverted than I am extroverted. And so I was talking about, someone had mentioned you should just find people on Facebook and just reach out to them and collaborate and do all that stuff. And I was just like, I don't know these people. I don't know these people. That's just who's going to want to do that. And I started thinking, like, instead of all the negative talk, I was like, you know what? It's not a bad idea. I just have to figure out how that's going to work for me so that I can connect and have these beautiful relationships and share podcasts and clients and things like that. And the next morning, I had your DM. It was literally like the exact same thing I was talking about the night before.
Wow.
And guys, Nikita's father, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nikita doesn't live in Georgia. She
Uh-uh.
lives in Texas. Her father bought my car, a car for me years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we only communicate every now and then via text, but I didn't know that he had a daughter. And he's an amazing man. Like, he's so sweet. Oh my goodness, he is so sweet. And so Nikita reaches out to me, and then she tells me about her father who had purchased my car. And I'm just like, yep, that is definitely in alignment with my soul.
Full circle too. That's another full circle moment.
Yeah, it's just amazing, like, how we met. So I wanted to share that with you all because, like we talked about earlier, you're manifesting one way or another. So choose to manifest the things that you want. Set your intentions on the things that you want. And Coach Enrich couldn't have said it better tonight as our guest. Follow your intuition, listen to yourself, be self-aware, love yourself, and then watch things unfold. So with that being said, everyone, remember to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who could use a little inspiration today. We're all about uplifting and inspiring others every single day. So until next time, keep manifesting those big dreams, stay positive, and remember that you have the power to create the life you desire. It doesn't matter where you are in your journey, you have the power. I'm Natalie. I love you all, and I'm always inspired by you. I'll see you on the next one.